There's one name that a whole country is surely going to remember for a while to come, and that's Vaibhav Suryavanshi. I had to pinch myself last night as I watched a 14-year-old dismantling a proper, experienced international bowling attack. And I say dismantled because that's how it unfolded. It was not just any performance. This teenager put in the best performance in the entire tournament so far. We talk of superstars shining bright in the Indian Premier League. Here's a school kid who has completely owned the stage. That knock last night did many things. Let's get the records out of the way here. He scored the second fastest 100 in the league, right behind Chris Gayle, a grown adult Gayle who struck a storm that night, which is unforgettable even today. And this list here, of course, means that he's also the second fastest Indian to score 100, going past Yusuf Pathan and, of course, leaving David Miller as well. Yes, he's just 14. And this knock also meant he's the youngest to achieve this feat, going past the likes of Manish Pandey, who did it when he was 19, Rishabh Pant at 20, and of course Devdutt Padikkal as well when he was 20 years old. The internet exploded, needless to say, because this is unprecedented. The world was not ready when a young 16-year-old showed what batting really truly meant, what a batting masterclass really was meant to do. And this year, last night, probably came closest to that feeling. No surprises, it had to be another Indian emulating what a teenager Sachin Tendulkar brought out in a cricket fan way back then. There was no internet, no memes back when Sachin shook all cricketing logic and threw away the rule book. Here's what social media made of the storm that hit us all last night. And of course, all the best in the business, legends of the game from Sean Pollock, Ian Bishop to Sachin Tendulkar himself, heaped praise on this Rajasthan Royal find. To think that Rajasthan came under severe fire for their dismal performances just a week ago, and one of the reasons was this, how they're more focused on grooming talents and picking up young sparks than really focusing on the bigger picture, which is winning a title. But that very process got us to witness what the cricketing world hadn't seen in a long, long while. And it is such moments, such unbelievable brilliance, that really makes watching sport worth it all. It made Rahul Dravid forget he was in a wheelchair for a moment. And the one other thing that matched the scintillating knock and how Vaibhav was really toying with one of the best franchises in the league this season was the look of pure joy, pride and awe that was on the faces of every single Rajasthan franchise member, including Vaibhav's partner at the other end, Yashasvi Jaiswal, who was happy taking a backseat to just watch the mayhem in front of him. That was it for me. Pollock says this will have to be the best knock IPL has ever seen, and sure, you could argue if he was getting swept away by the moment, but really, how can you evade this? When have we ever seen a 14-year-old do this, create magic like none other before him? That beats a legendary show of might and skill any given day. But the tough part starts now. The kid who was just that, a child till some days ago, now has 1 million followers on Instagram at 14. when we were all still wondering what we wanted to be, what we wanted to do with our lives, comes a star an entire nation was waiting for. There are, of course, parallels that's going to be drawn and already have been. Comparisons being made. What can he be 10 years from now? Can he keep this going? Will he be able to handle all the fandom? Will he be overwhelmed? Sachin's brilliance, and I'm, by the way, bringing in the maestro here for comparison only because he's the other teenager to have really burst onto the scene in such a dramatic fashion and against a famed bowling attack. To go on to do something no cricketer had ever done before, become a legend of the game. I cannot possibly compare the two based on skills and talent. That would be unfair and incorrect. So yes, coming back to my point, Sachin's brilliance spread through murmurs, newspaper clippings, people scurrying to watch him play when there was no full-time broadcasters around. He was blessed to have jumped out at a time when social media isn't the monster it is today, when there still was some sense of privacy and you could hone yourself with some level of solitude. You were not constantly watched, scrutinized, followed and critiqued. There was a sense of sanctity that doesn't exist today, not anymore. You're not alone, and if you are a cricketer in India, more so. Solace and me time are words you will just have to forget. And that's the biggest concern for the young Vaibhav now. We've seen the most talented kids get waylaid, get lost somewhere in the manic fabric of a sport that is devoured in the country. We've seen the brightest get consumed in matters that are beyond the concerns of 22 yards. It happened to a young Prithvi Shaw. It's happened to many others. And mind you, Vaibhav has done this before. Under-19 Asia Cup, top display, Test 100 against Australia, triple century in domestic circuit. He's not new to performing big, just that he's done it now in a league that is most followed and noticed the world over. So how can the young Vaibhav traverse what will be the most difficult part of his journey here on? Navigating the fanfare, adulation and overexposure that's bound to follow. And make a career, a solid career, materialize. That's the real challenge. The onus lies on those who picked and noticed and groomed Vaibhav for this big moment under the lights. They will have to make sure Vaibhav stays the course. His coaches, his parents, his close confidants, his father, whom he incidentally is very close to and watched cricket sitting on the lap of. Because Vaibhav Suryavanshi can knock bowlers out of the park surely. Last night was proof enough. But what about the Yorkers and the Googlies outside the cricket field? The most difficult task was not getting Rajasthan across the line last night. It will be now here on.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India. What we saw in Kashmir.
The Prime Minister Modi.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.